Ladies and gentlemen, ghouls and goblins, phantoms and phantasmas, we are watching something together. And by we are watching, I mean I'm going to use a series of clips that I found on YouTube, probably from Fandango, and I'm going to put them on here so you guys can take a look at what I'm talking about. Well, I probably have Minecraft or some other game playing in the background so you don't get lost or confused because I know for a fact that y'all's viewer retention is abominably low.
I fucked that. Bro, damn.
But we're not going to talk about that because today we're going over 31 films in 31 days. That's right, you heard me with those sweet, succulent words. 31 days worth of content split into 31 videos of 31 different films. I hope you can grip that concept because every day will probably a 10 to 20-minute video of me talking about a movie that I watched and said, hey, it was pretty good. I might put that up there. And that's about it. Um, so, like the great, I don't know, website, I guess, Tubi spoke to me. It whispered sweet nothings in my ear and said, you should watch the Belko Experiment. It's pretty good. And I said, yeah, it's 5:30 in the morning. Why not? I don't have to go anywhere until 7. So I ended up watching the full movie. It was all right. Didn't disappoint. It had pretty good use of practical effects. And with that being said, viewer discretion is advised. If you, I don't know, are not really allowed to watch them, don't watch it. If you are easily squeamish, I guess don't watch it. I mean, like, it's not as bad as some of the stuff I might be talking about, but it's still pretty gross. Like, I was going to say something, but I'm going to save it till the end of the video because it correlates with the ending of the movie. So, I'm going to flash a little viewer discretion right about now. I'll be silent for a little bit. Okay. And I reviewed that, so there's probably going to be a title card there, maybe with me talking over it, or maybe a computer generated voice. But let's start talking about the Belko experiment. All right, so as previously stated, I chose to talk about the Belko experiment because, like I said, I got up at 5 in the morning, couldn't sleep, and I said, oh, it's October. Let's watch something scary. And, I went to Tubi because it wasn't on Prime for free, because your boy is a cheapskate and don't like paying for things. So, one thing I will say, this movie is chock full of deceit and violent people, all stuck in a building locked up tighter than the liquor store cash register in Compton, while they're all being egged on by an unseen force telling them to kill each other all in a battle royale style. Now, if that ain't your scene, I don't know, you might want to skip this one and wait till tomorrow. I might be talking about some other movie. I don't know. We'll get there when we get there. You can wait. Now, the movie essentially starts out by introducing everyone that plays a major role in the film. The people that are introduced all clearly seem to be close enough to be calling each other like friends, a little bit closer than just regular coworkers, I guess. Or of like what's that word? I don't know. I'll probably find it in the editing, and then I'll call me dumb or something or whatever. Enough of that. But all these very close people are suddenly hit with a horrible little intercom breakthrough, and they essentially are just been forced to break apart. And the man over the intercom essentially just goes, "You should whack your neighbor's head with that stapler on your desk right there. I don't think you'll mind very much." They did say they were gonna have to kill 2 people, though. Um, they said if they don't, it'll be serious repercussions. Which, is, oh my God, they blew a hole in that guy's head. Uh, let's rewind that right there. But where their company boss, let me Google his name real quick. I can never remember this fool's name. After speaking to my fellow congressman, I found out that his name is indeed Barry Norris. Barry Norris is a family man. But he also has a past we don't know about, but it is since implied that he has some sort of military history and training. So, Barry, in the sense of fear, or not fear, he is surprisingly calm in the situation. He ends up forming an alliance with other guys in the building, and they end up teaming up against everybody else to stay the last ones alive. Now, since they're not the protagonist, they obviously die. And my boy Michael has some of the thickest plot armor it put Batman to shame. I kid you not. After these guys try to steal the armory stuff, my boy Michael snatches Ethan's gun. Ethan's also the black security guard who is a pretty cool and a W guy ever. That's right. I said the W guy ever because he is an absolute bro. Uh, but anyway, this guy, um, Michael, he shoots the freaking acetylene tank and it doesn't explode or anything after dumping 3 rounds into it. Um, He gets clocked in the face by a fire extinguisher, falls down a flight of stairs, and survives, just waking up like nothing happened. And in that moment, too, they stabbed my boy Ethan in the gut and left him to die. Like they couldn't have like shot him or anything. They just stabbed him and left the knife inside of him, which is the worst. After the death of a beloved bro, my boy Ethan, you know, his death was so sad, it might have been equivalent to the death of Harambe. That's how important I believed his death was, because he was an absolute goat. But with his death in hand, we also got to pay attention to his keys were being snatched up. One of his cronies, picked up his keys. This crony being Wendell Dukes. This guy Wendell, he's also introduced in the beginning of section of the movie. And his first introduction and meeting of him is he's eyeing up my boy Michael's girlfriend. That's right, he's trying to steal Michael's girl. His hard-earned Riz got him nothing but a HR complaint. So, I mean, he's gonna deal with it. He's got to suck it up. He's a big man, clearly. He's a fat man. He is also very old. He's so old, he probably could have been somebody's grandpa, while Michael's girlfriend had to have been in her early, maybe mid-20s. That's a bit of a icky situation. But also, I gotta say, I'm off topic. I don't mean to go on the tangents, but I feel like they're kind of sort of hand in hand for what the movie is going for. It kind of makes it tie in better. But anyway, after they got the keys, they finally made it back to the armory. Barry grabs out like 3 or 5 pistols. They're just extremely desperate, but more depraved to do what they want to get to their goal. Their need for survival outweighs their humility or humanity. I mean, not humility. They don't feel bad about doing it. Well, I, except one guy. One guy does. But we only understand why he feels bad about it is because after they all corralled these people down to the first floor, they separate them from like who's got children worth keeping around and supporting, and who's old enough to not deserve to be killed. But that's a very small margin group of people, so they're like, okay, who cares? Let's go kill the rest of these people. They drag them out to a secondary room where they all bound them, or actually, they don't even tie them. They just like have them stand there with guys holding guns at them, and they're not even like the big ones, like any assault rifles or anything. They're just pistols, regular like 9 round pistols. So I'm like, okay, you guys still probably could, I don't know, rush them because there was 30 people being like held hostage against 4 guys. Like I don't know if you know that, but like that's a lot more people. And just because they have guns doesn't mean you can't rush them. Like they're gonna run out of ammo. Like let's be real. And I mean they're regular people. It doesn't mean they're dead shot. Like they can't exactly two tap everybody. That would just not have enough ammo. But off topic again. Uh, there's a nice little lady hiding in the basement. She turns off the lights, and Michael was going to be executed because he loves yapping too much. And he loves talking about humanity and the morals and values he holds, which ultimately almost ends him up getting executed, which, that's not good. I mean, you don't really want to die, do you? Since the light goes out, everybody runs away, as I had previously said. Um, This leads Barry and his squad of the Alphas, Sigma, or whatever they want to call themselves, but they would definitely listen to the Alpha Male podcast. But these guys, they run around, they mag dump anybody they can, which essentially means they're shooting in the dark, which is very stupid and very bad. Um, not a very smart thing to do, but they do end up taking out like 15, maybe 20 people. Enough to a point where they end up making it only up to 29. Now, why is that number important? Well, they had 30 seconds to kill another person, and they didn't make it there. They instead had 31 more people get their heads blown off, which is pretty bad because even Barry was disappointed when that he heard that. I mean, he was trying to do that for the betterment of everybody else, but I mean, he was upset that he did all that stuff, I guess. Michael, I'm surprised he didn't have his head explode. He is like the most useless person ever, but whatever, I guess. Um, After that happened, the voice then instructs the people that they have to go and kill whoever they can and get as many kills as they can so they can make it to the top leaderboard so they can get the golden shotgun skin. So, the person in the running league for this one is Barry, Wendell, somebody else, and this big fat guy who's sitting in the basement. He kills a bunch of other people in there. Somehow he got a gun and he shoots a couple people. They flash cut to other people around the building. Mainly, they cut to Michael evading everybody. They also cut to Michael's girlfriend, who is confronted by Wendell, which is not a fun sight because, Wendell is, kind of gross. But in this room, she also meets two guys who are collecting bombs out of dead people's heads. And that is a very important thing because this ties into the ending of the movie, which is a great thing. And I love how they kept this thing going instead of just leaving it there. I was like, oh, I wonder what they did with the bombs. But no, they actually kept the bombs safe, which was a great thing. But anyway, since they're in a little final battle with Wendell, Wendell still has his gun, so he shoots at people. But with Michael's girlfriend's quick thinking, she hides underneath a table and she scoots it all the way towards him. And she puts it on his body so he can't do anything. And with this on him, she grabs a fire axe and she plunges it in the guy's head several times. And I tell you, it is the use of great practical effects because it looks like an actual human's head being caved in, but really it was a watermelon, I think, that they used with great like syntax or whatever they used on it. But it looked so realistic, it was insane. Which is also one of the reasons why I said, let's hold on with that viewer discretion because it gets pretty gory and violent in here. I that's why I threw that up there. After they dealt with one of the major fighting forces of Barry's Sigma squad, they end up meeting Michael and his girlfriend. They get to reunite and embrace each other, along with this old lady that Michael found when he was roaming the building. So, after they made it to the first floor, the fat guy I was telling you in the basement, he comes out tricked out with Molotovs and he throws one on a poor innocent old lady and she straight up burns and dies. It is insane. This guy, he just keeps chucking them out as if he was pulling them out of his mystery pocket. Like he goes back behind a wall and I kid you not, he's probably like hiding those things up his butt. Like I don't know where he is grabbing them, but they just keep spawning in. Like it shows you making, or at least it shows you that he's making them, but it doesn't show you where he's putting them. So it's just like, is he squatting down to take it out, or like what is he doing, bro? Like is he keystring Molotov cocktails? But anyway, he ends up getting dealt with by Barry, because not Barry, well, actually, yeah, Barry does make his way down, and he sees Michael and his girlfriend, and he ends up shooting Michael's girlfriend when they were running down the stairs to get away from the Molotov man. But instead of, Molotov man and Barry like teaming up to get these two, he ends up just straight up like gunning down the Molotov man. And then he finds Michael and his girlfriend in a break room, and they're like embracing in a closet or whatever. And she straight up dies, which is unfortunate and sad, I guess. I didn't really like them together. but they were pretty good. But when they died, it was sad and unfortunate. But Barry made his way, and he creeped his way into that little building space. And Michael, he was able to outflank him, run out the room. But instead of like running out of the room, he ran around the cubicles and he was able to jump scare him pretty much. He like jumped out, he like grabbed him. But Barry, I guess, is some Navy SEAL or whatever because this guy is like insane or whatever, and he's super good at fighting. He even's got like crazy chokehold techniques, but he gets manhandled, like absolutely manhandled. Like he's been beaten up like a piece of meat. Like this guy, he was used like it was a regular street fight. Michael picked up anything and everything he could, and he just beat on that guy with it, which leads to one of the more gruesome deaths too, where Michael grabs a tape dispenser and he proceeds to smash it into Barry's face so he could get out of the chokehold. And after he's on the ground, Barry says something, but since Tubi didn't offer me decent captions, I couldn't see what he said. He just continues smashing his face over and over again until it was like a mush, and it was kind of gross, but it was also great practical effects. I will keep saying that the entire time of this month and this entire video. But after that, Barry, being the only person left alive, he is allowed to leave the building. After it unseals itself, two soldiers come out. They basically just grab him, gun in hand, pointed at him, and they're like, "You have to come with us now. You are free." But instead of being free, they take him to that hangar that he saw. That little hangar space that was outside their building is a little like command center where they've been monitoring everybody and blowing everybody's brains out from their skull, which is insane. So, what does that mean? Well, it's just some guy who looks like Steve Jobs. He's like, I would like to examine your thoughts and your brain and how you feel about this situation. And instead of Michael saying anything to it, he straight up planted those little bombs that he got from his girlfriend, who she got from those two stoners from that fight scene with Wendell. Like that made a comeback, and I'm glad they did, which I also previously stated. And after they used that, he was able to say, I still have all of those bombs on me. And when he asked him, he rushed all the way to that little center where they had the bomb things to go off. He flipped every single switch and it killed, or at least it killed the soldiers. And he was able to run all the way over to one of the rifles and he picked it up, gunned everybody down. And then this guy posing to be the voice, he was like, You have some humanity left, don't you? If you do, you will let me live. And Michael said, stroke that thing, cuz. And he shot him, emptied the entire clip into his body, and then he left. And then it pans out, straight up saying, yep, this was all part of my master plan. You've fallen into my trap, which was basically the entire thing. But overall, I had to say the Belko Experiment was a pretty fun movie, and my summarization is so bad and so sporadic that if you actually paid attention to this, I commend you for your patience, I don't know, I can't keep glazing, resilience, and your sense of I don't care, it's a Halloween thing going on up there. I'm glad that you have paid attention to whatever I've said. But I recommend this movie because it's fun. It's a simple pin people against each other, see what people do kind of thing. It's a fun movie, probably not for the whole family, but it's one of those kind of movies you'd watch, not with lights off, probably with lights on, because it's not scary, but it's more suspenseful and more full of thrill and drama. But it is gory and it has tense moments, and it's just overall fun, which is why I would recommend this for the first Halloween movie. I will see you guys in 30 more days, or at least tomorrow, because I think we should watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space, or literally anything else I have. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna put a schlocky, classic horror movie kind of thing tomorrow, or maybe I'll do something different. But anyway, as always, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed.